everybody. Just a little PSA. Well, a question really. When you buy a new TV or a new car or even shopping for clothes or um, researching a new pet that you want to get, you do your research. I'm sure you don't pick the first thing that you see. I hope not. I want to say, I think a lot of people get overwhelmed with choices. They feel that it's too much for them to handle, so I'm just going to kind of just pick out of the sky. This election, please do your research. Research all candidates, not just the president, not just the vice president, not just Congress or Senate, but your local government, the people that actually affect more so your day-to-day lives where you live. Research everybody that's running for school board, research everybody that's running for town council, research people that are running for the office of water and soil conservation. I mean, literally research everybody that's on your ballot. You can find your sample ballots online. You just need to go to the office of elections site. You can go to, there's so many sites, I can list them below, and you can find out if you're actually registered, because sometimes what's happening is that people aren't verifying their addresses if they move or something like that, and they get taken off of the rolls. Even if you've been registered for a while but haven't voted in a long time, they will get rid of you. They will take you off of the roll. So you need to check and make sure that you are registered to vote. It is so important. Being an educated voter is just more important than being an educated consumer. Like I said, more people spend more time researching a television set than they do who's going to run their schools. This is not okay. And I'm not here to scold anybody necessarily. I just am pleading with you. Please, please, please be an educated voter and do your research. In this day and age, there really is no excuse. With the internet and all of the information you can find online, there is no reason why you don't know who your candidates are. That's just a choice. And if you're a first time new voter, congratulations and good luck. But I will say this, don't let people tell you who to vote for. Don't depend on someone else's choice to be your own. You have a voice. You now have a voice and some power. Okay? And now use that. Do your research. There's no excuse. You can look online. Don't look at podcasts. Don't look at nonpartisan websites for platforms, for answering of questions, things like that. Again, I can link some websites that are nonpartisan, that are nonprofit, that can help you make these decisions. But put the person's name in the search bar. Look them up. What do they stand for? Do they have the same values as you? This is all very relevant, whether you're going to vote Republican or Democrat or Green Party or whatever it is. You need to do your research. Don't just follow the party line, because as we've seen over the past few years, the parties have been fractured, and you need to really make a wise choice of what party you want to follow. Make a list, do the pros and cons for each. Where does it fall in line with your views and your own heart, okay, and your values? And don't forget, who you vote for will matter. If you're a parent or even an aunt or an uncle, it will affect your kids or your nieces or nephews. It's really important that we do our research. When I first started voting, I would ask my dad, mainly because my mother wasn't really a political person. My father wasn't super political either, but he he read more newspapers. He was a little more involved in knowing the candidates, so to speak. And sure, as a first time voter, it's overwhelming. And so you're going to ask your parent, or maybe another parent that you trust, or an adult that you trust. But always take it with a grain of salt, because that is an opinion for them. You need to do your research. And it's easier than ever nowadays. When I was younger, there was no internet. You had to go seek out the information. Actually, candidates had to actually campaign. They had to go door to door. Really, for real, not just send people to go door to door. They would have to go to the places where the people were, malls. I mean, churches, things like that, where people congregated. That's where they would go. It was a grueling process, I'm sure, for all the candidates back then, but that's what they had to do. Now they have the internet. Their message can get across to so many people. So you really need to take advantage of the fact that you have information readily available at your fingertips. But I urge you to make sure that that information that you're getting is unbiased and factual. And you can go to several different websites. If there's differences in all of them, then maybe go to another one and fact check and make sure that what the candidate is saying is actually the truth and not just an opinion, not just a dog whistle, or any of that. Please, please do your research. Be an educated voter. An uneducated voter is not going to help in choosing the right person for the job. This is a job application, and we are in control of who gets hired for that job. That's how you have to look at it. They don't automatically get the job because, they know somebody. Like, doesn't that infuriate you when that happens, when you know somebody who just got a job they're totally unqualified for, and they only got it because they knew somebody who had some power to get them the job? Well, again, we need to hold all candidates accountable to that. What is their experience? What are they bringing to the table? How can they enrich the lives of their constituents? What is it that they envision for the future in 5 years? You need to know these things. It's super important. So again, this is just a PSA. The reason why I did this video was because I went on my sample ballot because I'm going to early vote. I urge, if any of you already did your research and you know who you want to vote for, early vote, because this way the campaigns that are running can spend the extra time and money on the undecided people. If you haven't decided, then yeah, they need to basically woo you, right? Okay, but if you've already decided, then there's no point in wasting resources on you if you've already made your decision. So go and early vote if you're able to do that. So with that being said, like I said, I went on my sample ballot to see all the candidates for judges and everything else, to see. I want to look them up. I want to see what their platforms are. I want to see what they stand for. I want to see what other jobs they may have held that help them be qualified for what they're running for. It's important to get that history. So I saw something on there that was quite alarming. In the state of North Carolina, they want to do a referendum, an amendment to the Constitution of this state, to say only a citizen that is 18 years or older can vote. Well, that's already law. That's already the law. So what do you mean by that? So I looked it up, and it turns out that they want to take away what says people born and naturalized citizens. They're taking that away, and they're only putting a citizen of the United States. Well, what deems a citizen? So if I'm born here, am I not a citizen? If I've got naturalized, am I not a citizen? What does that actually mean now? And that's what I mean. You need to look this up. So, am I going to vote yes for that? No, I'm not going to, because what's going to happen is they're going to tell people who were born here from an immigrant who was now born here that that person that's born here is not a citizen. They're going to say to the person who went through the grueling process of getting naturalized to be a citizen will not have voting rights. This is important, okay? Because I'm sure someone in your life that you know has been through that process. And now their voice is going to be taken away. It's not like they're here mooching ever off of everybody. They're here working just as much as you do. They living the American dream. Now, that would mean that some of people I know would be they wouldn't be able to vote. They've been here all their lives. So why can't they vote? Um, it's super important when you see any kind of referendum or a bond choice or an amendment noted on your ballot. You really need to look it up and see what is that about. What are they doing? Why are they? What's going to change? So, whether you agree with me or not, it's fine. That's your opinion. I'm just stating this fact that be an educated voter. Look it up. I know everybody's busy, everybody's tired, but that's kind of what they want. They want everybody kind of like zombified so that you don't have the energy to look it up. You don't have the forethought to look it up. You're just going to take their word for it, and that's not okay. It's just not. This is a job application, and you are the boss, and you have say in who gets hired and who doesn't. So please do your research. Okay. Well, I'm gonna go now. I hope that helps. I know voting has started already. Um, I was thinking about doing a message like this before, but I thought, you know what? It's fine. And then I saw that on my ballot and I got very, very what's the word? Concerned, I guess. Very concerned because the way it's worded, it it I know most people would pick yes. I know it. Even though that's already a law. You can't not be a citizen and vote. It's against the law. You can't be under the age of 18 and you can't be a citizen to vote. That is the law. Already. It's already on the books in every state. So the fact that they worded that like that was like, well, there's something else going on here. And I'm glad I checked because that's what they're going to do. So please do your research. Do your research. The other thing I found was like for us here, specifically in this county, um, there was a water and soil district supervisor running. And that office is to make sure that the environment isn't being um, contaminated with new development and things like that. Okay. Well, who's running? There are three men running for this office. One's in manufacturing. How does that qualify him for protecting our environment? And one's in telecommunications. Again, I don't understand how that helps with our environment. And the third is actually conservationist. So, um, who are you? Who would you vote for? Again, do your research.